Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, there's a sense that Nigeria is hurtling inextricably towards the inevitable. There is a very little chance that Nigeria will see out 2023, and the chances of Nigeria even seeing out this particular year is quite remote. As guys, I bring you this. Yoruba elders reply Arewa youth who asked southerners to leave the north within 72 hours. So you can see already that this thing just continues to have layers and layers and layers continuously put upon it. So we've heard from the eastern quarters, and we have been hearing from the eastern quarters for quite a while now, so that we know categorically what their position is, Biafra or nothing. We have heard from the middle belt when we heard Theophilus Danjuma saying to his people that they are on their own and they have to defend themselves, because he is quite categorical in his pronouncement to his people that the Fulanis are out to colonize them. He said this, and it is on record, that weaponize yourself and defend yourself because they're out to colonize you. So that's another layer put upon it. So now the latest layer now that is being put upon it is the Yoruba perspective, is the Yoruba angle. So hitherto the Yorubas have been the biggest champions of the One Nigeria project, because the Yorubas see the possibility of a Nigeria, how great it can be, not just for the Nigerians, but for really the entirety of the black race. So if we get Nigeria right, the biggest and most potentially blessed black country, if we're able to get Nigeria right, then that serves as a beacon, that serves as a calling card to the entirety of the black people on the planet, that can then reply that look at Nigeria, it is doing so well. And that example, of course, can cascade throughout the West African sub-region if we get Nigeria right. So that is the belief system of the Yorubas, and that is what they see within the Nigerian project. So that is why the Yorubas believe in it. But now this Nigerian project is now presenting an existential threat to the Yorubas, because of course before you are able to build something beautiful, which is the idea, you have to be alive to do it. So now even being alive now is a real threat within the Yoruba space. The right to life now is being challenged within the Yoruba space. And who is making this challenge? Of course, it is the Malamis. So now the Yorubas are now that latest layer now that have been added onto the enough is enough narrative that is going on within the Nigerian space, to say now that after 60 years plus, we have tried this thing and it has failed because we're so fundamentally different people. There is absolutely no sense in us going on pretending as though we are one people. We are as different from the Hausa Fulanis as anybody can be, and we are quite markedly different from the Igbo people as well. We have tried to form a nation with these people, but that attempt has failed. So to your tent, O Israel, as again Yoruba elders reply Arewa youth who asked southerners to leave the north within 72 hours. So now let's now see now what the Yoruba elders have to say to the Malamis. The Yoruba Council of Elders says nobody has the right to ask Nigerians living lawfully and doing legitimate business in any part of the country to vacate. According to the group, Nigerian people have the right to settle anywhere in the country as provided in their fundamental human rights, except they violate the law. General Secretary of the YCE, Dr. Kunle Olajide, said this on Friday in an interview with correspondents. He said this in reaction to the 72-hour ultimatum a northern group, Arewa Youth Assembly, issued to a Yoruba activist, Sunday Igboho, to move Yoruba people from the north. The speaker of the Arewa Youth Assembly, Mohammed Saliu Dalami, in a statement on Thursday, had said, We are now giving him the ultimatum of 72 hours to move his people out, or we will be forced to take necessary actions by personally taking the responsibility of getting his people back home. The group noted that Nigeria's entity is non-negotiable and called on all stakeholders to reject anything that would confuse the land. The statement partly reads, one Mr. Sunday Igboho issued a statement in which he was quoted as saying enough is enough, that the time for the Yoruba nation is now, that they would no longer accommodate or accept the presence of northerners. The constitution of the country has made it crystal clear that any Nigerian can live in any part of the country, irrespective of his or her religion and tribal placement. Reacting to the threat given by the northern group, Dr. Olajide said, nobody has the right to compel anybody who is living lawfully and doing legitimate business anywhere in Nigeria to leave a place to wherever. We are all Nigerians and we have the freedom and fundamental human rights to live and settle anywhere so far as we conform to the laws of the land. He said the Nigerian government might not officially recognize such a group issuing the deadline for Yoruba people to vacate the north, and there was nothing to be scared of with that threat. He said the security agents should intervene and arrest the criminals. He urged President Muhammadu Buhari to address the nation himself to ascertain if the people are safe or not. The Arewa Youth Assembly, to the best of my knowledge, may not even be a registered organization. The government may not recognize it. It is perhaps a group of 2 to 5 people issuing a statement. This is nothing to worry about. We have said frequently that not all Fulanis are criminal, and if there are criminals, the government has to find them out and prosecute them. Yes, Sunday Igboho has the right to say whatever he wants to say. You cannot ask anybody, whether Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, Tiv, or any Nigerian, to leave a part of the country, whether Sunday Igboho or Arewa, so far as they are living lawfully. But if they violate the law, then it is the responsibility to call the security agents' attention to arrest and prosecute. The president should address the nation urgently to assure all citizens that Nigeria is safe. He should appreciate Nigerians and acknowledge their challenges and assure us that he's doing his best. He should let us know what the security agents are doing to restore the security of lives and property. He should talk to us himself, not through anybody. That is what is expected of a president. Then go about the process of having a new constitution that will accommodate state police and local government police, Olajide said. So there you have it. Dr. Olajide is the person responding now to the Fulani youth group, and there are several elements to what this doctor is saying. Sometimes we hear all these things that a northern group said and a southern group said and an Igbo group said. So an Igbo group is an Igbo group, a northern group is a northern group, and a Yoruba group is a Yoruba group. But what is the strength of that group is a question. What are the people, who are the people backing this group is another question. What is the influence of that group is another question, and who are these people either actually or purportedly speaking on behalf of is another question. So I, sitting in my wherever it is that I'm sitting, I could even be sitting on my toilet, I can type up a thing and say it is a public statement that I, on behalf of the Yoruba people, as a Yoruba group, I'm saying that XYZ to the Igbos or to the Northerners. So anybody can say anything, but really, who are these people and what is their influence is really where the question is. And are they a registered body? Because if you are speaking as an organization, then you have to be registered. Otherwise, you're just a group of friends. So is it just a group of like-minded people who have just converged together to make this empty-headed noise? Is the point that the doctor is saying, that this Dr. Olajide is saying. But in a sense, really, it is immaterial whether this group is registered or not, whether it's just two guys standing together and talking, or just a group of 5 or 10 or whatever. It doesn't really matter. What they are saying is essentially the northern sentiment. So what they are saying is the northern sentiment, because we have heard this sort of expression timelessly, copiously, and repeatedly from the northern quarters. So one group or the other under that coalition umbrella speaks this same language routinely, and oftentimes, although they are not doing that now because Malam Buhari is in government, but if it was Goodluck Jonathan or Obasanjo, they would have taken to the streets and started to savage people, because in the northern spaces they often quarantine the southerners into like a general area where they make them live so that they don't mix too much with them. And then you have this Sabon Yoruba, Sabon this and Sabon that. So they generally know where the southerners are coalesce, where they converge. And once they make these ultimatums, then of course you know that the average Fulani man, Hausa man, they walk with weaponry and they immediately way into wherever these people live and start to savage. We have seen it countlessly. So it doesn't really matter what the configuration of this group is, or what its legitimacy is, and what the strength of number, or rather what strength of number it has. What really matters are the words coming out of the mouth of this group, and those words echo the sentiments that we already identify with that region. So to your tent, O Israel, is where we're landing on with a lot of this narrative now, because the Easterners have positioned, the Northerners, we already know their position, and the Yoruba position is now unfurling, and every position now is speaking to that same tune, is singing to that same tune, that enough is enough, thank you, and goodbye. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, the Yoruba elders are responding now to the northern youths. That is an element in itself. But then what this doctor is saying is another introduction, that these people really, what is their legitimacy? But my input is that their legitimacy is irrelevant, because their wordings echoes the sentiments that we attach to that region. What says you? Come share thoughts. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.